The Biden administration declared war on ultra MAGA members of Congress. Our next guest is definitely an ultra MAGA member of Congress. I mean, he's not even going to be offended at us calling him that. He might even be the heir to the throne of the great MAGA king. Joining us now from the House Freedom Caucus, Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman, we did our entire open on this incredible moment where Joe Biden, who is the gift that keeps on giving, has declared us ultra MAGA and Donald Trump the great MAGA king. And thought that that was an insult in whatever little Georgetown bubble circles that he runs in, because, of course, these people have never, ever gassed up at a Walmart anywhere in regular America and have caviar tasters. But to the rest of us, seems like ultra MAGA is kind of an awesome term, no?
Yeah, absolutely right. First of all, Joe Biden isn't running around anywhere, including in Georgetown circles. Just wanted to clarify that, Benny. But look, we're thinking of getting some, my wife and I want to get some T-shirts made. She wants one that says Ultra MAGA Lady, and something like that. And I need to get a cap or something like that, because everybody said, oh, that's even better than Donald Trump saying, make America great again. That's good, but ultra MAGA, that's really it.
6 months of coming up with these terms. You're in politics. You've been in politics for a while. You're a spectacular member of Congress. You're always on the right side of every fight, and you're always fighting really hard for America. And quite frankly, messaging, political attacks. You are the recipient of many political attacks. Is this one going to stick?
Oh, yeah, it's going to stick and it's going to flourish, but not as a pejorative, of course. Everybody that I talk to back in my district says, I'm ultra MAGA. I want to be ultra MAGA, and I think I've seen some people already that have T-shirts, and don't be surprised if you see an ultra MAGA flag flying around on the back of a Ford F-150 in my district. I mean, that's just kind of the way that is.
Let's talk about your district, Arizona, Title 42. It seems like that is going the way of the dinosaur, and so goes our border. Thoughts?
Yeah, this 18,000 is the floors. It's going to be even higher. I've seen videos as far away as down in the Darien Gap in Panama. There are thousands and thousands. There's hundreds of thousands of people coming up right now in anticipation of Title 42 going away. And why? Because they know this administration is going to basically let everybody go into the country. So last month they said, okay, we're going to expel about 100,000 on Title 42 and only 10,000 on Title 8. Everybody else gets to come in. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Over 500,000 people a month once that goes away.
How do we stop it? Because it's clearly lawless, right? It's bewildering to someone like me who has a very room temperature IQ. I'd like to have things explained to me slowly. But can you please explain how this open lawlessness is allowed, and exactly what can Republicans expect if they put Republicans in power in the fall?
First of all, this happens because the executive branch, which has the constitutional obligation to enforce the laws, has chosen to violate the laws. And that's why I introduced a long time ago articles of impeachment against Mayorkas. And I told him just 2 weeks ago, you either need to resign or we're going to impeach you. And the bottom line is, if you get Republicans in Congress, what we're going to do is we are going to impeach Mayorkas. We'll probably have to impeach and clear out some other people who actually, on a personal level, but are just terrible on this issue, and they think the border's secure when it's wide open. And we're going to have to basically use every leverage point we have. And we've got a few coming up here, even in the minority, but we have to use every leverage point against Joe Biden and say, you're not going to get any spending. You're not going to get anything you want unless you secure our border or anything else we want to do. But the key is we have leverage points. Even if he's the president and wants to veto all of our bills, we will be able to stop his must-pass legislation and make sure that our border gets secured. Hopefully, we can open up our energy fields to reduce the oil and gas prices, which would bring down all costs. But this administration, they're content with destroying the country.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to forgive my skepticism, not for you, Congressman, but we watched the $40 billion to Ukraine, and Donald Trump asked for a measly $12 billion to build the border wall to protect our borders, not the borders of a country 5,000 miles away. And it seemed like the Republican majorities at that time pinched every penny and sweated because the Washington Post called him a nasty name, and then they didn't give Donald Trump enough money to fund the wall. And it seems like perhaps the largest loss of a generation. We may lose the country over it. So it seems as though the resolve, the bluster is always there, but the resolve is never there on the Republican side. Will it be different this time with Mayorkas and his impeachment?
You know, Benny, I pray it will. I'm trying to encourage my colleagues now that we have to start taking stands now. We need to be asking for, preservation letters. We need to send preservation letters telling the other side, save all your stuff because we're going to be investigating you. We need to make sure that we have to keep trust. Just do what you say. That's all we need to ask. I mean, you're right. I mean, I felt like the Republicans really lost our way when President Trump was there because, I mean, I introduced legislation to build a fence and fund it with remittance payments going to Mexico. That would have saved us. That was no taxpayer funding. That was people sending money out of the country that was not even part of our economy. And it got held up by establishment folks here. It's the same reason that they voted 60 times before I got elected to Congress. They voted 60 times to repeal Obamacare. And then when we could actually do it, or the president that would sign it, they chose not to do that. That is the problem. We have to build trust. And the best way to build trust is keep promises that you make. And if you do that, then we'll all be happy. I mean, Republicans will be happy, but Americans will be happy. Our economy will be good. We'll be safer. And we have to do something because this administration is coming after us. And I do think the Democrats have miscalculated by going after Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, because I think Kevin is realizing, hey, you can't work with these guys. They're out to get him. They want to put him in jail. They want to put me in jail. They want to put as many of us behind bars and get us out of office as they can. And the reality is that, I hope, stiffens the backbone of the Republican Party.
Yeah, Congressman, we only have a few seconds left, but if the vote were held today, do you think that the caucus would be with you in impeaching Mayorkas? I
do. I haven't met anybody who's not for impeaching Mayorkas these days.
That is very, very good to hear, because as you mentioned, Obamacare, it's all piss and vinegar, right? Until you finally get the president who will sign it and make it real, is a lot of bluster. And so the base is sort of like abused, I guess you could say. And so you hear a lot, and then we want to see action. And so you're one of the very few who puts words to action, and we thank you, Congressman, for being on the program.
Thanks, Benny. Keep it up.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our next